Welcome to another episode of the Javier and Mo Show. I'm Mo Aziza. I'm sitting with the best coach of all time, Javier Mendez. How are you today, coach?
I'm good. How do you say Javier?
Javier.
Javier? Do you want to Javier?
Would you say it?
Javier.
Do you pronounce the Javier?
Javier. Roll the R. Javier. Oh, and Javier today. I'm good. Okay, I'm good. Thank you.
¿Cómo estás?
Estoy bien. ¿Cómo estás tú?
Muy bien, muy bien. ¿Tú dónde eres?
Huh?
¿Tú dónde eres?
Oh, where am I from? Sí, o sea, yo ero de México.
Oh, México.
México, Michoacán, el Valle de Tanuncíjuaro.
Ah, muy bien. ¿Tú eres mucho bonita? ¿Quieres una bebida?
You speak too fast.
Soy Alejandro.
Soy Alejandro, yo soy Javier. With the R. Hey, let's get into the Topuria fight, okay? Let's go. What did you think of the fight?
Topuria.
Yeah, what did you think? I was waiting for that fight and with Charles. And what did you think? Come on, tell me, give me your opinion.
Man, I'm going to say something that might upset you.
Why was it going to upset me? I have my opinion too.
After this fight, I do believe right now, Ilia Topuria is the number one pound for pound guy.
I will say it's up for debate, and if people feel you're correct, you're correct.
Islam wins the welterweight, he's back to being number one pound for pound.
Yeah.
But right to this moment, to this very day, Ilia Topuria is the number one pound for pound. It's very hard to not say that.
But listen, this is like what Dana White said. It's not for him to decide. It's for the fans to decide. So it's not for me to say what. It's for the fans to decide. So if I say, oh, you're wrong, well, who cares what I say? The fans vote. Yeah, they win. So whoever they feel is still number one is number one. I don't know. I mean, you can't, honestly speaking, the guys destroyed 3 champions back to back, knocked them all out. Okay. 3 of them. Okay. How can you dispute that greatness? You can't. All I'm saying is the fans decide, and that's the way it is.
Yeah, and I know it might be a sensitive topic or quite awkward because Islam is your guy, is your student. But if Islam wins his next fight and welterweight and becomes the welterweight champ, he's back to being number one. But to this very day, it's very hard to say Ilia is not the number one.
Look, that's your decision. That's your...
and I'm putting you in the spot.
You're not putting me on the spot because this is reality. I mean, people are putting everybody in the spot. I mean, look, I have my opinion, and my opinion doesn't count. Okay, the fans' opinion counts. That's all I'm saying. So I'm not debating anything that you're saying. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that's your opinion.
So for the love of the sport, as like we're fans, we're enjoying the sport. That's what I'm asking you, like from a fan perspective.
Like I said,
take yourself out.
I took myself out because I looked at it as the way it would be, and I'm looking at it. I'm biased, obviously. But I'm not stupid either. I mean, the guy fought unbelievable. He's an unbelievable fighter, and I thought he would win. And I knew he could win the way he did, but I was pulling for Charles because I like Charles, and if they fought again, I'd go for Charles again, even though the odds were fair, not less that Charles could win. I just would go with Charles. And it's not that I don't like Topuria. I do. I like him a lot because I think he's great. He's a great speaker. I mean, he knows how to, draw up the controversial, not controversial. He knows how to bring the fights, the hype. He knows how to put the hype up there. And I don't dislike the way he's doing it. I mean, there's people that have done way worse. He does it in a way where he's just attacking the fighter. I like the way he does it, and this fight in particular, man, he came out there swinging. I love the way he set it up. He went first jab to the body, then he jabbed him up top, and then he did a really quick jab cross, and that cross was money. It was a straight right hand right to the chin. The left hook didn't really hit as well, but he was already out with that right hand. He was already out. That right hand took him out.
Okay, great that you brought this up because I wanted to ask you to break it down technically, and now you broke it down technically. So tell me something, when a fighter does that, when he jabs you to the body, jabs your face, jabs your body, isn't he just trying to close the distance and measure? And yes, this is the sign for the other fighter to try to
get out of the way. He didn't get out of the way. He measured him. He went to the body. He stuck a nice long jab, and then he came in with a short, quick jab. It wasn't really fully extended, and then that right short right hand, right in the money. So he set him up, and I was wondering, in my mind, I go, why was Charles staying in the pocket with the guy that's that good of a boxer? He is the best MMA boxer, and I'm not saying boxer, guys, MMA boxer. He's the one that can use it the best out of everybody I've ever seen in MMA. I haven't seen anybody that, in my opinion, can use boxing as well as he has. Technically, is really, really good. Another one that I really like is Aaron Pico, which we'll see on here in Abu Dhabi July. He'll be fighting Mosvar,
Yep.
So I'm curious to see about that one. But regardless, this is Topuria's time, and I thought he was fantastic. And the guy carried the weight fantastic. He looked very, very strong. Charles came out really well. At the beginning, he came out calf kicking and then going up with the front kicks up the middle. But then I think he got caught up because I think he landed some good shots at the very beginning. And then I think he just caught up, stayed in there. I don't know if that was the game plan. Maybe that wasn't the game plan. Maybe the game plan was to stay on the outside and pick him apart on the outside, get inside in the clinch. But then he tried to take him down. Do you notice how Topuria turned it over on him? Like midway, I'm like, wow, that was impressive. That's Greco-Roman, but regardless, still impressive that he was able to do that. But not so impressive for me that Charles would try that. I didn't understand that.
Okay, before we talk about his grappling, let's try to close his striking topic. Your background's in striking. What would you do if you were Charles's coach? What would you tell him in this situation? Do not let him close the distance. Like, obviously he measured you, get out, right? Like, it should be them 101. So get out.
So the way I would train someone like Charles, I would say, no boxing range. Out of boxing range. You have to stay kickboxing range. You got longer legs in hand. You're a better kicker than he is. You're better kneer than he is.
And when he was seating him at the very beginning of the fight, it was good. He backed him up a little bit.
That's what you're supposed to do, but that's what I'm saying. I think because he landed some good shots earlier on, I think maybe he just felt comfortable on the inside. I don't know. I don't really know what was going on in his head. I just know that.
So it's in his coach, they should have not let him get into that boxing range. No way. What are you doing?
Yeah, but this is what you got to understand. The coaches know what they're doing, okay? The majority of the time. They're telling their fighter the right thing to do. The fighter doesn't listen. He does what he wants. Like I always tell my fighters all the time, I say, look, listen, if you're not going to listen to me, whatever you're doing better be working. Otherwise, you should be listening to me or somebody else that's cornering you. Don't take it upon yourself unless what you're doing is working. If it isn't working, listen to somebody else. And this is potentially one of those cases where, he got caught. I mean, he got caught right there in the boxing range, and he didn't know. The jab went. He didn't move his head. Did you see his head move much? Not at all. Stayed right there. The jab to the face cape. Didn't do much again. So then all of a sudden, what did he do? Beautiful. Short jab, follow with the beautiful straight right, and then follow with the left hook. The left hook wasn't needed, like I said. That was, so it was a beautiful. Watch that replay. That'll be one of those highlight great reels because it was, the way he set it up was beautiful.
So now that you're getting your reads on Topuria, and if Islam's and Topuria fight ever happens, I'm sure you would tell Islam, don't make that mistake.
No, we'll have our plans for him, and if that ever happens, if Islam wants that fight, the UFC wants that fight, and Topuria wants that fight, I'll be glad to do it now because now everything's fantastic for me. Now he's proven himself. Now it's a worthy fight. But again, we still got to get past JDM. I'm telling you right now, that is no easy task. That's not going to be something that we're going to go, oh yeah, as soon as we're going to come. No. We don't know what Islam wants in either. I don't know. I haven't talked to Islam. So I don't know if he wins the title, and I say if because, we're planning on winning it, but, anything could happen, right? This guy's no joke. So I have to be mentally prepared to not assure, oh, we got this time. Heck no. We got a very tough fight in front of us. The guy's, in all areas is good. Every area, this guy's good. Could take a good shot, get a good shot, a good strategy, good wrestling defense, good jiu-jitsu. This guy's good everywhere now. And he also mixes up the punches really well. He goes head, body too. And then he has a kick to it. So this guy's dangerous everywhere. I'm not underestimating him at all. I'm not thinking, it's not about Topuria and Islam. No more. It's about Islam and JDN, and let's see what happens after that.
And even if he wins, I don't see Islam going back to lightweight. It's going to be difficult for him to cut that weight again. Like, especially he's finding it difficult to put in like a couple kilos to gain some weight, to gain some muscle, and now he's gonna drop all of that to go back to lightweight. I don't see that fight happening in lightweight, and it would be stupid of Topuria to go to welterweight and face Islam. That's just stupid. I'm sorry to say that.
I don't know. Let's like, you know, we're all talking fantasy football here. It's like, let's see what happens, you know. I don't know. All I know is we have JDM to take care of, and I didn't focus on him. But we can talk about Topuria and how great he is, definitely. But we still have to focus on JDM.
Yeah.
I can't ignore that. I cannot ignore that. I don't want to. I give props to Ilia, and then let's talk about him and Paddy Pimblett. You know, what do you think about that fight? That to me is going to be a major fight, because Paddy the baddie, like, well, what do you talk about? We and I talked about what a star he is without being a champion, what kind of, you know, fan base he has. Remember, we discussed that. Now you're going to see more what Paddy's all about. Yeah, big, man.
Yeah, remember we brought people from the office who were not fan of the sport, and everybody, like that girl, remember, she named her, and she doesn't even watch the sport.
And he wasn't a champion. I like how you mentioned. And again, John Jones.
Yeah. Hi, George.
You know, whatever. It's like, I'll say one thing though. It's the division should not have been held up. I mean, he should have done the right thing by the division and fought Aspinall. But I say he should have done, and what he did is another story. Now, the UFC could have controlled it easier, said, hey, fight or vacate. But because they're into the business of making money, they know that's a big money fight. So they held on as long as possible, because now, let's be honest, what fight at heavyweight makes sense that's going to bring in the kind of money that Aspinall and Jones would have? What fight? Okay, so the UFC is doing what? A great job of running their business. It's not what the fans really want per se, because a lot of fans wanted Aspinall to fight. But at the end of the day, more fans were going to tune into Jones and Aspinall fight, you know, title fight. That was going to be, I probably not too far-fetched to say that would have been probably the biggest heavyweight pay-per-view UFC fight. I think before that, it might have been Cain Velasquez and Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Because that was a huge fight. That was the welcome, you know, out party for Cain Velasquez as the new heavyweight, you know, UFC champion 2010. That was an unbelievable experience. That this would have eclipsed that, I believe, had it happened. But yeah, that didn't. So we have to move on.
Speaking of news and business, as you said, UFC is a business. Dana White finally came out yesterday, and he said that Arman Situation missed weight with the Islam's fight. It wasn't the back injury. Because remember, they said it was a back injury, but then when they asked him about Arman, now that he cut weight to be the backup fighter, he said he's on the good track because he should not have missed weight from the first place. He said it. So it's no longer an if situation.
Okay. I didn't know. I just assumed. And also Arnon said that Khabib wished him well, and he said Khabib wished me well, and because he knows he went through that. Well, Khabib's situation was entirely different then, because he actually had that back end. No, Khabib had to go have surgery. He got messed up. He could not do it, and he right after that weight cut mishap, right? He went and had surgery. He had his back operated on.
So it's sad to see that he used this excuse, because I didn't personally buy it, but I had to go with the story because everybody was going with it. I'm like, fine. It didn't seem right, because I always read Dana White's face when he's angry with somebody. And he seemed angry after that fight when they're, back injuries, like, yeah. And he is angry. Why would he be angry if something else did happen? So something happened, which is he missed weight. And now he said out loud, there's no hidden agenda.
No, if Dana said it, he said it, you know. So he's not somebody that usually spouts off exactly like that. Sometimes he gets misinformation. He'll say something that's not quite accurate, or sometimes he'll lead us to thinking things when he has something else behind the eight ball, you know. So I don't know. It all depends. All I know is I didn't know enough about it. I just assumed, because no fighter, in my opinion, is going to train that hard to not fight. So he didn't want to fight. Now, maybe he couldn't make the weight. Okay, I can believe that. But that doesn't mean that he didn't want to fight, because you don't train that hard to not make any money. Come on. You know, I don't believe that. I don't believe he didn't want to fight. I do believe someone saying that, hey, he didn't make the weight and that's why he pulled out. Okay, I can believe that.
Yeah. So Do you think he deserves a title shot immediately, or?
I hate to say it, but based on what you just told me right now, no, he doesn't. No, if he didn't make the weight, then he deserves to have another 1 fight or 2 fights before Dana or the UFC should give him another fight. If that's the case, if what you're saying is correct, then yeah, he can't just all of a sudden give me another shot. If you purposely didn't make the weight, that's your responsibility, and it's not due to injuries. Then yeah,
Because think
you're back in line.
Think about it. Why would they entertain the Paddy Pimblett idea when he's ranked like number 7? When there's a number 1 contender.
Okay, but did you understand what happened there? David didn't know that Paddy was put into the cage. He didn't know. Yeah, well, that was without his permission. He didn't know. Yeah, he said, well, that shouldn't have happened. So again, I don't think Paddy was supposed to be in there. I don't. Yes,
Just Joe Rogan called him too.
Yeah, but Joe Rogan called it. So Joe Rogan's called these shots. Joe Rogan, the new Dana. Hey, what about the Liver King and Joe Rogan? You just see that one, the Liver King?
Man, I saw a couple of things and I was like, what the hell is going on? Because I don't like the Liver King, and I'm like, what's this madness? I just didn't entertain it. What do you know about it?
I don't know anything about it other than he wanted to fight Joe Rogan, and
he said you were just playing around.
No, he had. I seen the clip where he's talking about it, and he's taking this blue venom scorpion, this anti-inflammatory medicine, which is what I'm on right now. It's fantastic.
Okay.
It really does 1,000,000% work. And he's talking about it. He's doing the blue scorpion thing, and I go, what the hell's this guy talking about? And I mean, Joe Rogan did the right thing. Joe Rogan had him, he reported it. Somebody reported him. So I'm assuming it could be Joe Rogan himself, or it could be somebody that represents Joe Rogan that goes, wait a minute, if this guy fights our cash cow, we're in jeopardy here. Because anything could happen. All of a sudden, Joe Rogan can't do the podcast because his jaw got broken, or maybe he's in the hospital.
Yeah.
As a business, Joe Rogan is a commodity that you have to protect, of course. So you can't have anybody challenging him because it's stupid. And I think the Liver King, for whatever you want to say, he made himself a bigger name, to be honest with you.
That's what he does. He just strives on like madness and stuff to get some media attention. Allegedly, he had some gifts that he wanted to give it to Joe Rogan, and he was just playing around. And that's why I didn't entertain, because I know this guy is crazy. He's not, man. Since the PD allegations and stuff, I'm like, this guy.
Well, he admitted to taking PDs, didn't he?
Before it came out by, what's his name? The guy from, what is it called? That guy? The Too Many Dates, Too Many Plates, Too Many Dates. Some YouTube channel, some guy. And he broke down all the tests, and he broke down the emails that was sent to him by the Liver King to check his blood work.
Yeah.
And then he admitted it after everything came out. But before that, everybody knew he was juiced up, but he never admitted that he was juiced up. So I'm like, I don't respect you. At least say I'm juiced up. Why would you going on some kind of scam and saying, no, it's all liver, it's all healthy lifestyle. You're like that big. It's just.
Well, he did kind of look kind of blown up to me, like abuse, steroid, not abuse, but steroid use. Yeah, no, and he looked to me like he was on it, but I don't know, I don't know. I had a fighter that was with me named Justin Wilcox, and he looked like that too, but he was natural as could be, and never touched the drugs at all. He was a 145er, I think, 140. It was like, shit, man, it called him Little Hulk, man.
Yeah,
Justin was a man. He lived with me for him and his wife. Short? Yeah. He was like 5'10" to 5'6". He looked like we called him a silverback. It's Justin Wilcox, the silverback. This guy was incredibly disciplined. His cheat day. Yeah, because he lived with me for about 6-7 months. Okay, him and his family. His cheat day was pinkberry yogurt. That's his cheat day. Yeah, so disciplined. He's so disciplined. His whole family was disciplined like that. His little daughter was disciplined. They were all just, their cheat day was pinkberry yogurt.
That's just my healthy guides.
Yeah. So I'm like, I know there is some people like free community. Yeah, Paulo Costas. Everybody thought he was on stuff too. I'm telling you, no, he wasn't. No way. No way. No way. The only thing that I think Paulo Costa could have been on, which I know he's not, and what I know is very difficult to pick up is EPO. which is what gives you that extra cardio. That's the oxygen in your blood, that type of thing. EPO is very difficult for
Get tested?
Yeah, it's the microdose, so it's very difficult. It's I don't know who does it. I know fighters do it. I just don't know anybody personally that does it. But I've heard and I know for a fact that from the experts, they tell me that it's very difficult to catch. You have to be monitoring for a long time to catch there's a different, their blood tests. You have to monitor all that in order to really catch what's going on. But EPO is very difficult to catch.
But those Brazilians are good with it. They're good with it.
Yeah, but cardio hasn't been one of Paula's things. So I 100% believe he's not 100% natural. I believe it. I've seen people like him. And I know Justin Wilcox. He was just like he actually more ripped than him. So I know there is a people that are genetically gifted, and he was definitely
without naming names. There's certain fighters that they look normal in the career, and now they're at the late stages. I'm not gonna name anybody. They look like they're on something. They cannot sex on. Suddenly they have this muscle mass at 36, 37. Like, bro, where'd you get that from?
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy to gain, muscle right away. It takes.
And when you're like 30, 29, you look, it's even harder. Like you looked skinny and normal, and now you're 35, you look.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, so I'm not an expert on weight cutting and bodybuilding for that matter. I don't know. I don't know what's possible, what's not possible without supplements. So I have no idea. So I'm no
hard there. Come on.
I'm assuming yes. Okay, but I'm not an expert. Yeah, I can look at somebody and it's very obvious, they're blown up muscles, and as sure the other guy's on stuff. You could tell.
Yeah,
but normally. The people you can usually tell, and believe it or not, is I used to always be able to tell big time in Pride. Luckily as in Pride, oh man, they were all juiced to the gills and stuff, and K1 and all those guys. I'd look at them and go, okay, but that was very normal.
Yeah.
And now with the USADA and everything's coming in, I don't know what the USC's new anti-doping body is. I don't know who they are, but it's run by Jeff Novinsky, which is the guy that used to do USADA with them. So I don't know. I don't know how good they are. I don't know if they're keeping up with what's going on.
No, I'm sure they're doing their job, but there's other ways to spot around it.
Yeah, well, there is. Like I told you, the EPO is very difficult to catch.
Yeah,
very difficult to catch because they have to be monitoring them early. And then on top of that, EPO, from what I've been told, microdosing, they said you can take it and it can last up to 3 weeks. So if you're not monitoring the guy consistently all the time, in within a few days or a day or 2 or 3 or something that you take it, it'll go out of your system. It's not detectable. Period.
As we spoke off here once about a fighter without the chemical, and you quite agreed that he's on it. We're not gonna say who right now. So without naming anyone, that fighter you suspected.
Yeah.
But like they're on it. It's very difficult to not be that.
Yeah,
at such an age, it's impossible.
Yeah, no, it's the wonder drug for it's like you're Superman. When I was told about EPO, they said that just imagine Superman. That's what these guys are like. They don't stop.
Yeah,
I'm like, wow.
Yeah,
I don't know anything about it. I don't know how it's done or anything. I just know it's very effective, and it's very difficult to pick up. I didn't know that from the people I told.
Man, like I've been training since I was 18, and I look like somebody who never trained. Like if you're not on something, it's very hard to have that physique. I'm fit, but I don't look close to any of these people. And I train hard, but like most people do train hard, and they look normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a good friends of mine that've been personally training for 2 years with a private guy. And they don't look very much different.
Yeah,
but they've been training, for a while. And, there's right foods and then there's right supplements, and genetics. They all come into play. If you don't have all three, you can get so much results. If you have all three, you're going to get great results. So genetics and supplements and work ethic. And, you got a great recipe for a great body.
Yeah. So, let's move on to somebody who gets swept under the rug often, Pantoja. Man, I feel bad for this guy. He doesn't get the attention he deserves.
Yeah, Pantoja, He's got 4 title defenses, and he did really well. He stopped him in the was a 3rd round, right? A choke, and I saw that. He's very impressive. He was like a tornado. I look at it, like he come in, swing, Glake, boom, and Kara couldn't get going. He couldn't get going because Pantoja was just too much. Pantoja looked like he was going to get a little tired. He was starting to wind a little bit, but then he suddenly regained the back, and then it was just too much. It was just too much. He deserves a lot of respect. And but they called them like the best flyweight. They kind of indicated towards that, and I'm like, how are you gonna go over Demetrius? Come on, he's only had 4. How many title defense did Demetrius have? No, I'm sorry. Demetrius is still flyweight king. And one of the greats of all time. So to me, it was like, no, this is just hype because the guy did so well. So build up. But he is great. And I would say he's the 2nd best flyweight of all time. Not past Demetrius. Not yet.
But also to be like, okay, the pound for pound will get updated tomorrow. But right now, he's ranked at number 9.
Oh, he's probably going to rank at number 7, probably, though.
But Jack the Marina is number 7, and Pantoja with 4 title defenses is number 9.
Like I said, you guys do it when you were talking about, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, the fans are the ones that are ranking, not me. So yeah, whatever happens. That's just the way it goes,
Yeah, no, but it's sad because
listen, it's sad, like you say, like when we first fought, Al Volkanovski, with Islam, the first fight. Okay, they said the winner gets to be pound for pound number 1. Well, we won. We didn't change pound for pound. You're still W2. So it doesn't matter what they say, but the fans say whoever basically votes for this anyways. I don't even know.
And the media members.
Okay, there you go. The media members didn't agree with Dana White. And the media members didn't agree with Dana White calling John Jones the number 1. I don't agree with Dana White on that either. I don't think John Jones will ever be number 1 because of one reason: PEDs. He was caught. That's it.
Right.
That's it. If it wasn't for that, hands down, John Jones number 1.
Yeah.
But because of that, I won't never call him number 1. Never. But if it wasn't for that, he never was caught. Never, even though he's suspected this and that, but he never was caught. Yeah, I can never deny the fact how great that guy was. And the thing about it with him is he never needed it. He was so great. He was so great. He never needed that. Why? I don't know. But the guy's a winner and everything he does is for winning. But anyways, regarding that, I want to talk about something that I thought was pretty touching to me. And I want to talk about Jake Paul. I know a lot of people maybe don't like Jake Paul, this and that. But, I've gotten to... I was introduced to Jake Paul many years ago when he started out his career in boxing, and I think about the second fight out when he fought Ben Askren, and, it was pretty touching for me to see him making a appeal for people to come out and support Ben Askren on his thing for the lung, to replace his lung because he was in was in a coma, right? Yeah, he was in a coma, and he needs a new lung or lugs, right? Lung or 2?
I don't know. I think I do just 1.
Okay, but he's in but up for the lung replacement, right? But his insurance didn't cover. It's because it's very expensive. And here's Jake Paul talking about him and helping support the guy. And the guy gets so much slack for actually being a real fighter. He's a real boxer. I mean, the guy has challenged so many people, and his record is 12-1, and people still don't give him the credit he deserves. And I've always thought back then, even way back then, my guys would give me a bad time because I said, no, this guy's the real deal. He's good. They're saying, no, coach, why are you saying he's good? He's not good. I said, yes, he is. I got to watch his sparring. His coaches were good friends of mine. Jacob Chavez and his other guy, BJ. BJ's the main trainer for him back then, and they would show me the videos of his sparring with all these guys, and I looked at him and said, this guy, he's taking it very serious. Unlike his brother is more like WWE. That's why Logan is in WWE because he is that way. But Jay, no, he's the real deal. And was that Pierce Morgan? Pierce Morgan would put him on his show, and he was like roasting him, and it's like acting like you're not a real fighter. It's like, dude, what are you talking about? This guy's been taking his craft serious. From what I know, he's been training like a professional. He fights like a professional, and he's fought challenges. And yeah, he knows how to market himself. So, whoopee, the guy knows what he's doing. He knows how to create a buzz, and he created attention. Yeah, he fought Mike Tyson. He's 58 years old. Oh, whoopee. But how many people that are newbies or even people that want to try out can do what he did with Mike Tyson? I'm sorry. I don't care who you say you are, what you are, this and that. It's not that easy to do what he did to Mike Tyson. And it was all due to smart movement. He was away from Tyson, because if he had been inside the pocket like Topuria and Oliveira, then guess what? Jake would have been in a world of hurt, that he was out of range all the time and his legs couldn't catch up with Jake. So he had great coaching. So yeah, it's 58 years old, but that 50-year,
And a the guy to harm Mike Tyson.
I didn't see all the fight. I just saw the first round, because I saw Tyson's legs weren't working. I said, how the hell is he going to catch this guy? He keeps in and out, in and out. There's no way. As we get older, and I know I'm in that range myself, it is not easy. It is not easy. My mind says I can kill this guy and kill that guy, no problem. But my legs won't cooperate. Like, my legs say, what are you doing? Slow down. I go, no, let's go. And no, the power's still there. As you can,
power.
French's power is still there. So again, you stay in front of Mike Tyson, then you tell me what can happen. But you can't stay in front of somebody that hits that hard, and he can't come to you because his legs don't work the way they used to.
So really, the power does not go.
That's one of the last things that goes. If you have good power, it's one of the last things that go. The speed will go, and obviously with the speed, some power goes. But you still have a pretty good pop. Like, I still to this day hit pretty hard. I was a hard hitter back then, so I could still hit pretty hard. But my timing is way off. My leg. It's gone. Like, I've been walking down the street and boom, almost fall on my face sometimes because I trip over my own damn feet. So balance is extremely important. That's why when you see these old guys, they're all fighting, or just like a drunk guy, right? They're throwing a punch and they're falling all over the place. Well, old guys don't need to get drunk to fall in their face when they try to fight. Their balance is gone, so everything goes.
Yeah. So you don't also get any kind of pain when you hit the bag in your 50s?
I haven't hit the bag. I know. I just lift weights. I train the guys. I know what I'm doing there. I know exactly what to do with them. But I don't feel like hitting the bags, because I don't need it. I just want to keep my body strong, so I lift weights. Weights is, to me, the number one thing I feel, along with eating correctly. I think the two things, if you're gonna do, besides eating correctly, I think is yoga and weightlifting, and not light weights, heavy weights, where you can, at least your body and joints can handle it. I think that's the longevity. And I think from what I see, and everything I've ever seen they're done, I've seen these people that look the best are the ones that lift weights. They're the ones that look the best. Yoga people look pretty good too, but the weight guys, women and men, look the best. They are the best. I yet to see. No, I never done yoga, but that's what I'm saying. I watch. And the weights is I think the biggest fountain of youth out of everything we ever do. It feels great, because if your body can hold up, you can do a lot more, and your posture, instead of being hunched over like this, or your posture gets straightened up. And look at Sylvester Stallone. How old is he? I think 76, 78.
Yeah.
Look how great he looks, and yeah, he's, don't get me wrong. He does supplements, but he's 78 years old, and look how great he looks. Who looks like him at 78? Yeah. He does the right blood work. He does the right supplements under doctor supervision. That's the right way. So say whatever you want. Look how great he is. Look what kind of life he had. I watched that guy shadowboxing at 72, and I was so in awe. I went, wow, man, that guy looked unbelievable. Look at 20-year-old body, and he's shadowboxing really smooth. So to me, it's like, if you do it correctly, under the supervision of a doctor, and you know what you're doing, then by all means, it's a health a benefit. Not.
Do you not worry about your joints if you lift heavy?
You should. So that's why I say you got to make sure you know your body. You lift what you can. Like I go fairly heavy, and I noticed when I went heavy, it worked for my body much better, and by joints, no problems.
What's your favorite Boy, is it?
Childhood, no legs. I never used to work my legs, but I started working my legs because I'd lose my damn balance all the time. I'd get up from a chair and I'm gonna fall over and stuff, and people look like I'm a little baby, you know. I'm like, man. So I started working legs and heavy, not light. Hey, what do you do? I do everything, you know, the squats, you know, the leg extension. Well, see, I go on the machines, okay, and I go the full machine, you know, which is probably 500 something. But the other day I did in the squat one, and I did 6. They're 25 kilos on each side, 6 plates on each side, you know, or seven plates on each side. I did that, you know, so that's about the heaviest I've gone. I don't really go too much more than that. So that's probably what, I don't know, close to 700 pounds or something like that. Weight-wise, yeah.
So your favorite day is leg day?
Leg day. No, it never used to be. It never worked legs, never, you know, but now my favorite is leg day because of my balance, and that's the truth, you know. So for you old guys, you want to get your balance back if you're starting to lose it, work on the legs.
And you don't not miss any, as you said, you stopped having the bag, and you don't miss any of that?
No. I train people, you know, and I enjoy that.
You don't miss the action?
No, I get people asking me all the time, you know, they come up to me and this is the funny part. It just happened yesterday. A guy comes up to me, he goes, you know, I'm a champion, blah, 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 boxer, and I wanted to get into MMA. Can you give me that special tip? And I'm like, I don't know this guy. And I'm going, special tip? I'm like, what do you mean? Advice? I go, and I said, hey, whatever it is that got you to where you were now as a boxing champion, that's what you need to do to become an MMA champion. So if I want to do MMA, well, what do? Go to a boxing gym and I'm going to do MMA and then I enter MMA with boxing? Or you're going to go to an MMA gym and put in the effort and put in the work, get in with the right coaches, get in with the right sparring partners. I mean, you got to plan your attack on anything you do. So that's my advice to anybody that, how do I get involved? Well, get involved with somebody who's already doing it and do it correctly. If you're going to play chess, don't play checkers. You know, in other words, checkers is what? Simple, but chess is more complicated than that. You have to learn everything. You have to learn what the pawn does. You have to learn what the bishop does. You have to learn what the rook does, the horse, you know, the queen. You got to know all the moves. So you have to know to play chess. You have to know what the strategy is and what pieces do what. You know, it's the same thing with MMA. You know, you get involved in MMA, learn everything about MMA. Get into boxing, get into Muay Thai, get into traditional martial arts techniques, because some of those are very, very effective, you know, and get into wrestling, get into Greco-Roman, learn all of it, get into jiu-jitsu, get into Sambo, all that's important. All that's important. So that's the way to do it. It's not, oh, I'm the magic formula guy. I'm not a magic formula guy. Yeah, and I've just been fortunate and lucky to be put in a situation where I had these great fighters come to me. You know, it wasn't like I made them great fighters. They were great already. I was just fortunate to have them around me, you know, and I got a lot of credit for what they already were.
Absolutely. I see what you're saying. But I want to go back and ask you, when did the fire start fading away of like sparring, or I don't know, as I said, like you stopped hitting the bag, and I'm sure you don't want to spot ever, or do you?
I kind of do want to spot. Okay, there you go. So that's you, but I don't, because you know, now we talk. Number one, you know, I might get hurt. Number two, I might hurt somebody, and if they're not good, then I don't want to spar into this. No good. You know, if somebody's crazy,
You still have the fire in there.
yeah, of course I have it, but I don't want to. I'm very I'm good at what I know I can do, what I can't do, you know, and I can't get in there with fighters, you know, they're going to beat the hell out of me.
If you get into somebody like your age, for example.
Well, they're buried. So you want to put on the grave?
Oh. So you feel like you want to do it? Like if there is like an exhibition fight?
No, I wouldn't do an exhibition fight. No, because I'd make myself look like an idiot.
What?
I'd make myself look like an idiot. I don't know business fighting, you know. But in my mind, I feel I can do it all. But look, the bottom line is, for self-defense, for mental clarity out in the street, I'm confident that I'm not afraid of nothing. You know, I'm not saying I can beat anybody. I can't.
But you still have I'm saying you have it in you. That's so.
No, to compete? No, I don't compete.
Just like to get in.
No, No, you're always going to have it. All fighters that have fought have it in them. Yeah. So that's why they're not afraid. You know, if you think you're going to scare a fighter, good luck. You just riled up a hornet's nest because you piss them off. They're going to fight you. They're going to fight you. They don't care if they're going to lose, because losing isn't the issue with them. It's the fear of not being able to protect themselves. They're going to want to protect themselves, you know. Like, you cannot scare me. You cannot scare me, because all you're going to do is make me act, you know, and I don't want to act, you know, because that could be dangerous for me, you know, and I realize that, and I don't want to hurt anybody either. So it's one of those things.
So what if, like, you get into like a light sparring session, like you and your son, you trust each other, knowing that you're not gonna hurt each other?
Of course, I would never hurt my son.
Yeah.
But I mean,
It's a safe place.
I would,
Like the lights.
it would 100% be light. Even if he hit me hard, I would never hit him hard, you know. But I have no desire for that.
No desire.
No. I no desire. The last times I did any type of sparring was,
Yeah, when was the last time?
20 years ago.
Wow.
20 years ago.
And you never tried to like do like a little light sparring with any of your students now?
No. The only times I did live sparring is a few times people challenged me. And
Like friends or something?
but students that were doing private lessons for years, and one said to me, "You haven't sparred, huh? But you know, I think I could take you." I go, "Are you crazy?" He goes, "No, I think I could take you." I go, "No, you can't." He goes, Yeah. I've been training about this. I go, "Brother," goes, "No." He goes, "No, I and he meant it. Yeah, I think I can." I said, "All right. You want me to put on the gloves?" He goes, "Yeah." I put on the gloves with him, and next thing you know, I'm hitting him up front light, you know, and then before you know it, I hit him up front to his eyes, and I'm right behind him, and I tap him behind, and then I'm right in front of him again, and he's like, "What the hell?" You know, it's like, it's memory for us guys that have fought, and, you know, I was at the highest level. So, you know, I was a world champion, so I was at the highest level. So when you reach at that level, when you sparred, you know, and I sparred a lot of boxing champions and a lot of great boxers, you know, so I know how to box, and I know, you know, how to move. It's just I don't do it, but it's still there. It's still, to this day, I can put on the gloves with somebody that's brand new, or someone that's 2 or 3 years in the game, and I can probably still hurt them, you know, because they don't have the experience that I have, even though I don't do it. And anybody that's boxed, anybody that's fought, they'll tell you the same thing, and they can do the same thing when they reach the level of what we've done. You know, like people like a Duke Roufus. You know, Duke Roufus was a world champion, and probably Duke Roufus never spars, but if he did, he can do it. And, you know, another one that does this is Ray Seyfel. You know, he's the president of the PFL. Go put on the gloves with that guy, see what happens. I mean, he was sparring.
How old is he?
50 something. Yeah, and he was with Arjun Manol. Yeah, and he was sparring Francis Ngannou and this and that. He was the only guy that was brave enough to spar Francis, because he said everybody else, Francis will jack up, but Ray, no, not Ray. No. Ray Seyfel is a man.
So Ray is about that life.
He puts it on there. He fights, you know, so he ain't no joke, you know.
I see him at the gym all the time, but I thought he was just...
No. Ray Seyfel, you want to get in a bad situation, go ahead and go tangle with Ray. See what's gonna happen. This is a badass, you know, and he's the nicest guy, the nicest guy. So you never think that, and you know, you got yourself in some problems you probably can't get out of, you know, because the only way you're gonna get out is either go through him or you can go through you. More than likely, he's gonna go through you.
Yeah.
He's that badass.
No, man, I see him, respect him. And if you're saying he's around your age, so respect him.
He's a little younger, and he's a lot better than I am too. He'd kill me. I'm too small for him.
Oh, he's a proper heavyweight.
He's a proper heavyweight, but no, I'm an improper heavyweight.
So if somebody comes to you right now with a 7-figure offer for like an exhibition fight to somebody around your age, you would not take it.
Of course.
You would take it.
See, we're not to lose. You're talking 7 figures. What do we get for this show?
Okay. That's what I'm saying.
I don't even get 7 cents for this show. I could do it.
So that's what I'm saying. I feel like the fire is in you, but maybe...
No, I didn't say the fire wasn't in me. I'm saying I don't do it.
But at the right time, with the right money, you would do it.
Of course, when he was like, now, but look, who's gonna pay? Who's gonna pay for someone like me to fight? Who, coach? Nobody.
But
Nobody. Right now,
I said it before. Now it's the first time you have to let it out. You have to let the universe deal with it. Now it's out in the public. So now people know Coach Javier is down.
no, he's not down.
You ain't down for 7 figures. You're down.
Oh, 10 figures. Hey, he's got 10 figures. And he want me out to show my beautiful body with 10 figures.
Come on, Coach. How can you jump from 7 to 10? And
Because then I take my shirt off, then I go, oh, geez. So I wear black. See, Grapple, guys. Like Grapple. I'm doing a new app, Grapple.
yeah, tell me about it. I've seen you posting.
It's through a friend of mine, and they just started a new app for people that enjoy watching the fights and not betting on fights, but picking the winners. It's not a betting site. It's just for picking winners and keeping tabs of who's got the best record at the end of the year. And then I guess they're giving prizes. They're going to start giving prizes. It's just brand new. It's
what is it called? Like the football thing?
It's it's like I don't know. It's how rap.
Yeah. But like, where do you pick up? Like, where do you pick who's going to win? And
They'll put the matches out there, like in the UFC. Mr. Expert here, just so you guys know, out of the 11 fights, I picked 7. I missed 4,
but that's good.
That's not good.
I mean,
I missed 4. I got 7 right. Was 63%. Very good. That's not. I mean, honestly, the 4 that I missed, I didn't know. I knew maybe one guy, I didn't know the other guy.
So what the guy you picked?
All the guys I knew, I won. So all the guys I knew, like the Topuria, I picked him, even though I wanted Charles to win.
Royval and
Royval. I didn't know Van. I didn't know nothing about him.
saying nobody.
I knew nothing about him. I never even seen him. So I went with Royval because he was number 1, and then he was hungry. He was spouting off all this thing and angry about the disrespect and this and that.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, this guy, okay. So I picked him based on I know how good he is.
He's the number 1 contender.
Yeah, he's number 1 contender, and he fought somebody on a 3 weeks notice type thing. So I was thinking, no, okay, I would take him. So I lost that one because I didn't know Van, and then I lost a few other ones. The one that I knew would win is Jacoby Smith for sure because he trained with me, and Jacoby was 2,500. He was the highest ever. They said that. I saw that. Wow. 2,500 if he
and you can see the same stats on Grapple.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, not betting like that.
You don't see the live on.
No, they don't. They you can see the stats, who's ahead, I'm winning this and that, but the odds, I think.
So you don't see the who's the underdog.
No, yeah, you do. Sorry, yes, you do.
Okay, it's not. There is no money.
No, never. This is for fun.
Okay.
And I'm involved in it. And I'm not number 1. The first one started. I think I'm 22 or something like that.
Okay.
Out of all the people that bet, I got 20. I'm a 22%.
If you want to quote the guy who's involved in it to tell us how it works, we can have him on if you want. Otherwise,
why did I call him now?
Up to you.
Let me call him. Let me see if we can get him on here.
But tell him that until we're being recorded.
And he's busy. Look, he's busy. See, he's busy. Okay, busy. But maybe let me try it again. It's really cool.
Okay,
so people can get involved and enjoy the fights, because a lot of people like that's my favorite. Who do you got? I got this guy. La la la.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And it's just for MMA or for all martial?
And I don't know. We'll get it on. Hold on. Yeah.
Hello.
Rashid.
Hey, Coach. How's it going?
Good. Hey, guess where you're at? You're on my podcast with Mo. And
Oh, wait, that's amazing.
Yeah.
What an honor, Coach.
Yeah. Hey, I'm wearing your shirt, Grapple shirt, and we're talking about your app. Can you explain to our listeners what it's all about really quick? We won't take up too much of your time.
Yeah, of course. So Grapple was an idea that myself and 3 of my partners had some time ago to create a sort of MMA fantasy app to be part of a larger MMA ecosystem. And what that means is for fans to be able to use their fight IQ to predict fights, their possible outcomes, and get points in exchange for these picks, in exchange for the correct picks, and eventually be awarded first of all, bragging rights, of course, because who would want to be top of the leaderboard? And eventually, we awarded everything around MMA. So signed memorabilia, potentially like a phone call with a fighter, maybe discounted gym memberships, MMA classes, etc. But everything around the MMA ecosystem. We found a sort of a gap in the market for MMA fantasy apps, and we wanted to make it purely non, gambling affiliated, non cash prizes, just everything around the MMA ecosystem.
Nice. And how do people get it on the App Store?
And here you go.
How do people get it on the App Store? I don't know how to hit it.
It's available on Apple, on Google Store. It's available across both platforms, iOS and Android.
What's it called?
Grapple.
Grapple?
Yeah, the app's called Grapple.
Grapple, that's it. Nothing else behind it?
There's Grapple MMA Fantasy.
Okay, there you go. Grapple MMA Fantasy, you guys. There you go. That's what I'm wearing, this shirt, Grapple. And what am I? Number 22? I rated number 22. Huh? That's not much for me to brag at. I'm still called expert. And
That's not bad. At least you got the main event correct. Oh, you think Topuria for the win.
yeah, in all fairness to me, I missed all the guys I didn't know because I didn't know the Van kid. I never seen them, so I just took Royval. And
But you did some correct picks though. So I was thinking Renato Moicano was on a good sort of streak before the fought this time, of course. So I was actually gunning for him to get the W against Inigo. Who do you pick? PAs. Cheesy. Your fight IQ was right on.
I know as far as the people I knew, both parties, I picked 100% if I'm going on that. If I'm going on anything else, no. But anyways, all right, brother, we just wanted to get your opinion on what this great app is. And for those that want to get on board, I would suggest they get on board to make the fights funner for the... All right, brother.
Always.
Okay. We'll see you soon. Okay. Bye-bye.
Good stuff. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. MMA fantasy, we need that.
Yeah, it is cool for people that strictly just non-gambling. Yeah, that's just for fun. Yeah, for fun, and the bragging rights, and hey, if you are at the end of the season or maybe quarter season, I don't know how they're gonna do it, but if you're the winner, you get a signed Habib shirt or signed Marab shirt or any of these guys. Who knows? If you get a call from them or maybe I don't know. They're gonna present all these things. They do it for fun.
But it's fun. Like, I mean, definitely me and you could use it for the next fight card. I'll do my picks, you do your picks, and let's have them there. So I'm saying it makes things easier to...
Yeah. Who you got, coach? Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, that's good. It's good. So anyways, yeah, no, it's a good thing. What else we got? We got anything else exciting? What's going on with the next fight? Next fight is where? We got the Abu Dhabi card.
Abu Dhabi end of July.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
You going?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun fight.
Yeah, we can break that down a little later, but that's
Yeah, next episode.
Yes, next
Good stuff. Guys, please subscribe on YouTube or wherever you're listening, but please like this video if you're on YouTube. Comment, leave a comment, and send it to your friend. See you next time.
Send it to your friends. Send it to me. I'm your friend.